That last school day, it was overwhelming, I think. Like, it was a lot going through, I think, everybody's mind. I was worried about the students, but nobody have an answer, a clear answer how it's gonna go forward. So it was kind of scary. I'm really worried.
It's just been tough. We have a lot going on, and yeah, it's just hard.
I was like sad at first, but like at the start of the year, I was really upset. And like, especially when I was in 6th grade, it was like half of the year at the very end, I was so upset that I didn't get to see my friends.
Like this situation, the pandemic, hybrid CDL is not ideal for anybody, and it's something that nobody signed up to do. But I think every single student and staff member looked within themselves and dug deep and figured out a way. And it's like, you know what? The situation is what it is. These are the cards that we're dealt with, but we're gonna figure it out and we're gonna do it together. And I think that's, this past year is a perfect example of that.
I think that's the first thing I want to acknowledge, that this has been an incredibly challenging time. It has been 505 days since we have had all of our kids together, full-time in schools on a daily basis. It's been 505 days. And one of the things that I've thought a lot about during that time is just what I miss about school in the way that we typically used to do it. I'm in a position where I have the opportunity to go into a lot of schools and I get to visit a lot of classrooms. And just some of the things that I've missed personally is going into a classroom, and let's say it's a kindergarten classroom, and we have a student who he will spend a lot of time telling me about his dog, even though he's never met me before. I miss going into a 3rd or 4th grade classroom and seeing a student help another student and guide them along the way and keep them on track. I miss going into a middle school and having a kid, as I'm settling in the back of the room, say, "Hey, who are you and what are you doing here?" I miss the confidence of our high school kids as they make suggestions on how we can improve our school district. I miss running into staff members in the hall and just having conversations with them. And I think the most challenging thing is that so many parts of the job that gives us energy as adults, that's been missing for us, and we've had to find other ways to connect with kids. And that's been something that's been a real challenge for me. And I know it's been a challenge for our staff as well.
I feel like I've learned that I can work from a computer, and I always thought I had to be in person and I wasn't going to learn the same, but I learned a lot of things online, and I feel like I thought I couldn't do that, but I can.
I've learned that I am a lot more intuitive when it comes to technology than I previously thought. I've also learned that I can adapt to really challenging situations. All I need is a little bit of prep time.
I think that I've learned that I really like technology. I think that it's going to help us in the future. I'm excited to see what technology we're going to bring forward into future years, even after this pandemic is over. I've been able to connect so much more with our feeder team and more regularly because we're not traveling to the administration center and then coming back, is that we can just hop onto a call really quickly with each other and then come back to our normal building in a moment.
That I'm really active and like playing with, like meeting new people would be the best thing, and like really just in general learning about new people, like learn about their personality and like having a good relationship, or like, yeah, a relationship with them.
I've learned that it's not easy for me to sit still very well during class. Before COVID, I didn't have a problem sitting down, but that's also when my teachers used to let us like get up and go sit next to each other and stuff. But now, like when it was just at home, I don't sit down very well because it's just all the distractions and just my dog is barking or my mom's calling me. I have to go do it. It's just easier to walk away from the online class than it is to just walk out the door.
I learned that I need to take into account the social emotional being to adapt to the students' need, and sometimes it was about computers, sometimes about family scheduling, daycare, all that.
I learned that I'm a lot more better with like socializing, like being at school.
I learned that I love people more than what I thought I loved them. I have always been a very loving person, and I love our families and our students, but not seeing them in person, not being able to be with them and to have conversation with them in a natural way was very, very challenging.
Well, this pandemic has showed me that not only being around friends has to help you, but you also have to help yourself.
I think the biggest thing I learned was to lean on other people and to ask for help when I need it, and to trust that the people here have each other's backs and my back, and that we're going to get done what needs to be done for our kids.
I've definitely become more, knowing, if that's the word, to other people's personal space and their boundaries.
One of the other things I've learned is just the resiliency of our students, the perseverance that they've shown and their ability to adapt so that they can access education. It just amazes me. Heard a story from one of our bus drivers, and he was telling me about two students. As he was delivering meals, he would see two students that were sitting in a car at the end of a long driveway. And every day when he delivered meals, he would see them. And he stopped and talked to them and asked, why are you here in this car? And it was the only place that they could access connectivity. So they would sit in a car each day, and they would access their education in that car so that they wouldn't miss a day. And when I hear stories like that and the lengths that they went to make sure that they could continue learning, it's just amazing to me. I just stand in awe of that.
As a teacher, with my students, we were resilient. We were able to power through something that was really new for both of us, and it was rewarding at the end of the day that they did it and I did it.
I think I've learned that I can do hard stuff and I can persevere when the internet isn't working or when there's problems, and I think that's something that was definitely new to this year.
I learned about myself having more grit than I thought I had, and perseverance, and that all of us, we can persevere if we really push ourselves.
I've learned that I'm a very independent worker, and I'm very good at, working on myself without having to rely on other people. Whether it's doing an assignment, I have a question, I'll look at my textbook, use the internet, whatever it is, I can figure out the answer on my own without having to rely on other people, or whether it's being worried for a test or, whatever the situation.
I learned a lot about my teacher, and I learned that I can do more independently stuff than I could do before.
I think I've learned I'm a lot more flexible than I thought I was before, and I think I feel like I was very, one-track mind, like I know what I want to do, I know where I want to go, and I think that with all the twists and turns that this past year and a half has thrown at us, I've realized that I'm a lot more open to doing different things, and there are a lot more opportunities that I would like to explore that I never thought about before. So yeah, I think it's made me realize more about myself just in general and who I am.
I guess I've learned that I can just persevere and be flexible and be able to, even if something doesn't go exactly how they were planned, it doesn't mean that's a bad thing, and we can have even more fun than we were going to.
I've learned that I'm a huge procrastinator, and that's not the best thing, but I've learned how to fix it, and I've learned a lot of self-discipline, and that you can't always plan everything all the time.
I think back to some of the things that I've learned during this time, and one of the things that I've really learned to value, and so much of that has to do with the way that our staff has responded. And I'm reminded that we can't always choose what happens to us, but we can choose what our response is. And over again, even in the most difficult moments, our staff has stepped up and responded in a way and have done the right thing every time. They've learned a new way to teach. They've learned a new way to do their jobs and to make sure that they're connecting with kids. We've provided technology to kids that we never have had to do that before. We've taught them how to use it. We've revamped the way we've done instruction, not once, not twice, but 3 times now. And over and over again, we've kept our eye on what's going to be best for kids in that moment. We've delivered over 2 million meals since the pandemic began. And the nutrition services staff and the transportation team, absolutely amazing what they've pulled off. We've had classified staff that have never missed a day since the pandemic began. They've showed up every day and they've done what's necessary to keep things running for our district and to stay on track with our kids. There's just a deep conviction that is incredibly apparent in our staff, and their ability to make a difference for kids is just absolutely humbling.
I would like to thank my teacher, Maestra Lopez. She was able to help me at some stuff, and she made me laugh. She made me be happy. She is super nice.
I think the teachers that my son mostly works with is Miss Steinbeck. She really has done a great job this year. She's very enthusiastic.
Miss Garcia, Miss Carpenter, I think they're doing a really great job. Always jokes around and makes us laugh.
I missed my teacher. She was really nice. If we were quiet on the stairs and other people were in class, she'd call them marshmallow toes, and then if we were really quiet, she'd give us a marshmallow.
These last several months have been an incredible challenge for our staff, and that stems directly from the needs of the students that we're trying to address. Our staff has given our students everything they possibly could. We've made plans, we've revamped plans, we've provided mental health resources, we've had conversations, we've built relationships, we've chased kids and brought them back into the learning equation. And that's been done oftentimes at the expense of our staff members' own well-being. Our staff gives and gives and gives. We've taken something that's hard and difficult and turned it into something that's strong and courageous. I'm also proud of the way that we've supported each other as professionals as well as personally. And I'm grateful for our staff. They have done whatever it takes to support our kids, and they've made a difference day after day after day. And I'm really thankful to be part of a team that can do that and put students' needs oftentimes above their own. I'm looking forward to moving into the new year with such a strong team and such an incredibly compassionate and dedicated staff.
I know that I can say to my Henry colleagues that I feel so grateful for the support that I've received in the last year, for the connections that I've made, and for the love that has been shared between us as we're supporting each other to struggle through this. And that I know that we can take on anything after this year, and that I'm excited to continue to give that support back, both to students and to my colleagues here at Henry as well.
It's super important to not only live in the moment, but teach in the moment and have the faith in our school system that what we're doing is good, and what we're doing is going to benefit all students.
I think each of us, if we can all go back to the why we got into this profession, this business, education, I think that would re-ground ourselves into the big picture. I think that will re-energize and motivate each of us.
Yeah, I think that's going to vary on the person, right? What it was that called them to this career in the first place. So I think it's sometimes revisiting, what it was that brought you into education. Remember those students that came back with a ticket to graduation and said, will you come to my graduation? So I think it's those moments that we really have to sit back and reflect on that can keep us going.
I already knew this, but they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. And they're the reason that we do what we do. And when they're not here with us, it was hard to keep that why in the front of our everyday. And having them back in hybrid has been so incredibly powerful, and getting to know them we need to reverse it a little bit, and we need to hear from the kids what they need from us and help them on that path. So kind of changing what school is, I think we're on the path towards that, on like allowing the kids to be the guides. And we're just there because they need us, but they don't need us to just tell them everything.
I'm excited about the year ahead. I know that we are going to continue to be faced with challenges. I know that we're going to have the opportunity to be great problem solvers, but the excitement that I feel about it is that the fear of change is gone. The fear of having to reinvent systems, that's gone. We've done that time after time after time, and we've done that well, and we've risen to the occasion to meet the needs of our kids. We have a district that is full of caring people that are making a difference for kids every day. We have a district full of people that are meeting the social and emotional needs of our students. They're meeting the mental health needs of our students. We have people that will do whatever is necessary to make a difference for our kids. And they do that on a daily basis. And for that, I'm incredibly thankful.
I am so looking forward to next school year. One of the biggest things I miss is seeing my students interact in person and having that thriving classroom community happen right before your eyes.
Really being able to talk and be with other students and the teachers and to make more friends and to just have a even better school experience.
I look forward to theater. I really want to try theater and new clubs, and I want to experience the full middle school because I really want to go into school when there's like everyone here and it's just like how it used to be.
Looking forward to like get better at reading and spelling and writing.
I would enjoy being back in full time, not having to leave earlier or not having to do a couple days online, a couple days in person.
Having everyone in one place for the whole day, every day, I think is going to be awesome. Like I think that the kids are going to love it even more than they already do.
I think that each of us needs to go into the 2021-2022 school year with the belief that you can do it. We've done it, we're going to do it, and let's do it together.
Colaborar con tus otros colegas es una clave que me funcionó mucho a mí. Pedir siempre ayuda, estar abiertas a nuevas ideas y nuevos recursos y siempre pedir ayuda.
Don't keep everything like bottled up inside because that'll just make everything worse. Tell someone how you're feeling or what's going on and it'll make it a lot better.
Que sigan adelante y que nunca se rindan.
Only we can decide how much something really affects us. The amount of weight you put onto something is all up to you.
Help each other. By helping each other, we can get by a lot of things.
Don't give up, you're gonna be okay. Because no matter what, anybody who loves you is always gonna be there.
Remember, you love your job. You love it, so do it. Then just make sure to have fun with your students. I know teaching can be hard.
You guys have done amazing this year, and if you can do that, you can do anything because I don't know if it can get much harder than that.